Yielding, Mr. Lamborn, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's great to be here and to see all of you who've served, like Senator Bozeman said, in so many ways. So I appreciate that. And I know the issue of the Denver hospital has come up. I'm from southern Colorado, and although it's not in my district, lots of my 100,000 veterans do need that hospital to be finished. The existing facility is just not up to par. So I know it's a mess financially, and I don't know the final solution, but we have to find a way to bring all or part of the hospital to completion so it can be used. But for any one of you, I'd like to ask this question. I also asked this of Secretary McDonald when he was here earlier this year, and that is, how can we find a better way to have a seamless transition for our active duty men and women leaving the Department of Defense, going into the VA? I know just moments ago we talked about matching formularies. That's probably one step in the right direction. But what are some other ways that you would like to propose that we can work on for a better and more seamless transition?
Congressman, if I may?
Yes.
The one issue I can see is at this time, the Department of Veterans Affairs is only employed by 33% veterans.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's supposed to be veterans taking care of veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the 66% that aren't veterans, once the veteran tries to transition, those folks don't understand the military healthcare system or even the military way of life. So I think that one of the best ways to do it is to actually hire more veterans within the VA healthcare system or even VBA as well.
Excellent.
That's one approach. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Rykoff.
Sir, yeah, we've got 5 specific recommendations, but just to tick them off. Provide oversight by monitoring the progress and development of the interoperable DoD and VA health records. Remember that? I mean, we all stood up with the president, I think it was 5 years ago, and talked about the initiation of a plan. Mm-hmm. Well, that plan is still somewhere ongoing. Automatically enroll all troops leaving active duty service in VA healthcare with an option to opt out. Get them in when they're still in, and have that be more seamless. Fully implement the DoD plan to develop an automated system to transfer the service treatment records to the VA electronically. Fully implement the comprehensive exit physical before a service member leaves the military, and improve the transition of National Guard medical and service records from state units to the VA. Those are 5 suggestions that we have, and happy to follow up with your staff in more detail, sir.
Oh, please do. Thank you.
You know, we've had that for, like you said, the last 5 years. We had a plan, but we hadn't executed the plan. And I don't think the plan will be executed till you sit down with people from the leadership from DOD and VA and say, okay, what's a malfunction? This is where we're going. How are you going to implement it? Until someone has oversight on that in positive direction, it's not going to happen.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to help answer?
Congressman, we would suggest more needs to be done in terms of the recruitment of physicians, nurses, and other medical professionals from DOD when either they complete their term of service or when they retire. Things like fellowships, postdoctoral opportunities, research, even recruitment stipends, if you will, to attract them into VA service. But that gets back to the Ranking Member Brown's point about the long delays in the VA process. If somebody is certified as a physician in the Department of Defense, it ought to be quick, easy, and seamless to move them over into the VA and provide opportunities for them, including reasonable incentives for them to want to affiliate as a VA medical professional.
Mr. Minnick.
Once again, at this time, there are between 40 and 50,000 unemployed Navy corpsmen, Army medics, and Air Force health technicians. The Department of Veterans Affairs will not hire them based on their military DoD education. An individual could be an X-ray tech in the Army for 10 years, want to go to work for the VA, and the VA says, well, we're not going to hire you because you're not credentialed. Well, there's part of the problem. DoD needs to credential the enlisted military medical personnel so that they can be have the opportunity to go to work for the VA. So there's a disconnect right there. If you can take care of an individual while they're in uniform, why can't you take care of them when they're a veteran.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Rowan?
Yeah, I'm going to speak for my treasurer, who I know would love to jump in on this issue. His son's a major in the Air Force and a neurosurgeon. He's neurologist, excuse me. And see, he's speaking up. But the bottom line is this: he's looking around to get out, quite honestly. And the bottom line is the headhunters are telling him, "Don't even think about the VA. They're not looking. They're just not looking." And despite the secretary having told my secretary that he was going to go after his son, he never did.
Okay. Hey, thank you again for your answers and for the service that you provide. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you, gentlemen, for yielding, and again,